And she snorts like a pig.
Okay.
So Miss Piggy.
Alright, so we want to share today some of our goals for this property. Short-term goals, not maybe in the next 6 months, like I'm thinking as far as short-term. So the first biggest thing that I noticed that we need is pasture control. So definitely need some goats or some other kind of animal to help.
Well, hopefully we'll have a hog here next week.
What?
Yeah. A bush hog.
Yeah, it does need to be bush hog because it's been growed up for how long has it been since there's been a horse or anything in there? It's pretty
probably
bad. I mean, you can see.
6 years or more.
So
At least 6 years.
and it's got some small trees growing in it now. So but we have to get fence up. So we're trying to find something that will work for goats, and then anything else that we need to put in there, because I want to get a cow eventually. So we have a lot of land that is woods, but
I'm sorry, I seen your hand go across the screen and I was like, what the crap is that?
we have a lot of land that's woods, but we can't do anything with it. The only thing we could put on it that I know of would be like pigs, which would be helpful, and that's something else that we want to get soon, because that's not something that we're familiar with, raising pigs, but not really pasture pigs.
No.
So that's new to us. We've always kind of kept them in a smaller enclosure, but we do know how pigs are, and so that's something that we want to get going real soon. Actually, before we bought our house, the week we bought our house, we had just got back 2 hogs processed and bought our house and moved, and left our freezer up here, and went back to get it a week later, and the whole freezer had thought it quit, right?
It quit working, yeah.
Yeah, so so that was discouraging, and we have not even thought about having pigs since then, which we've been in town and not had a place to put them, but that's something else that's on our 6-month list. So fence, goats, pigs. What else was on that list?
A bigger thing for the chickens.
Yeah, we need to
Chicken
get, that needs to happen soon. We need to get like a chicken coop with nesting boxes, especially before it starts getting colder. My arm's killing me. Let's see, we need to get a bigger chicken coop and a chicken run, really, or are we gonna let them?
No, we need some type of run for now until we can get them used to being around here,
Yeah.
and then we'll turn them loose.
Yeah, I would like to have, as far as for laying chickens, would have a permanent pen, a permanent run. Maybe to where we could change the run itself, switch it out, but have the coop in the same spot, so where we get eggs from is close to the house. And then the meat chickens, I would rather have in the chicken tractors.
Yeah.
So I don't think we'll get meat chickens.
Probably till springtime.
Not until spring, yeah. And that's something we've raised before.
We gotta get all the shelters and everything built first.
Yeah, we have
Make sure we got fence up and everything before we go to getting any critters.
We have no buildings except for that old shed.
We got one old shed. We'll clean it out. It'll probably be more like a feed shed for that lower pasture.
Yeah. And then we have the trailer, the mobile home that we're living in. and then we have the RV, and then we have the farmhouse, which we're letting friends live there, just down the hill. But that's the only buildings that's on this. There's no barn. Actually, our original plan was to put a barn here because they're wanting to pull this trailer out when we get done with it. His mom is. So we were thinking the septic and stuff's already here, so we'll put a barn here, which might still happen. But we were walking, and our house is supposed to be over there, but we were walking the other day and we started thinking about putting the house right here because, one, it would be much cheaper to run the power in the driveway, and then it's not as hilly as we thought. We thought the other place was a little more flatter, but it's actually pretty flat, and the view is going to be easier to clear, I think, to see. I don't know, we'll just have to see. But we do want to put a barn somewhere. Okay, so another thing that I've actually already started was a compost pile. We've got it going, not the way we want it, but it works. I want to get my berry bushes planted and a place to put fruit trees if I decide to go to the nursery and buy some on a whim, like I've been known to do. I'd like to get a place where we know that's like designated for fruit trees and the berry bushes and stuff like that. And then spring water. You want to talk about spring water, what we need to do once we sell our house, our goals with the spring water, like to get it.
What we're going to do after we sell the house, we done got about a 12,000 gallon tank in the ground up there, and we're going to get another one and put above ground to where we got that much more backup. So sometimes the summers get pretty hot and go through a drought, and it has been known to dry up. But we're going to hopefully fix that with another barrel.
Yeah.
And then we're going to come down here closer to the house whenever I get the dogs moved and put another barrel in from the overflow like we was talking about in the other video, to where we can water the dogs and the animals from down here just from the overflow, to where we ain't taking out of the house supply.
Yeah. And then a pressure tank.
Yeah, we'll put a pressure tank on the house when we get the house built.
Yeah. Which is not bad, but like the shower hose, if you go, like if you turn it sideways at all, it doesn't want to shoot out. But as far as it's like regular gravity, it works. But but still, it'd be nice to have a little bit better pressure, especially since it's a pretty cheap fix. Dog kennels or dogs in general are a big thing that we need to get situated. We have how many dogs?
6 right now.
So he bear hunts and coon. Well, I should say we bear hunt and he coon hunts. Well, we do too, but so we have a lot of hound dogs, and we want to do like a concrete slab. And just have a really nice setup for them, because they are important.
With a barn style building on it.
Yeah, we want to try to do the barn off of that, to where we have a place for like the goats to go and stuff like that, and then a place for the dogs there. The next big thing, let's see. Oh, raised beds. And I said this for a fall garden, but that's not gonna happen. I might try to get something going to plant some of the stuff, but I do want to get some raised beds somewhere once we start clearing this land, and get an idea where we're going to have our garden. Get something to where I can use it, even if I have to move it, because really now is the time that we need to be thinking about a spring garden, because I know how long it'll take us to get something. We need to have it in our mind where we're going to put it now, before it gets too cold, and we won't be able to clear if we need to clear or build. The best time to build here is in the fall, because it gets so hot in the summer and so cold in the winter time. And then the last thing is clearing the land for the house, which we thought we were pretty dead set on where we're going to put it, and now we're up in there. We don't know exactly where. We just want to have the best view of the mountains, so I have to figure that out. I don't know, a lot of things, but we have a beautiful view of the Blue Ridge Mountains and Mount Mitchell, and that's one of the reasons why we love this property, is because we have such a beautiful view. So we definitely want to make the best of that whenever we build our house. But that's the short-term goals. Hopefully in the next 6 months that we'll be able to tackle. We'll do another video in a couple weeks of our long-term goals, which we talked a few about today, but we'll talk more about them later. Thanks for watching, and God bless.